welcome to a Jen's Jumpstarts video. Today I'm going to be using the new I-top tool that the company graciously sent me in the mail. And this is a lot of fun because I have the original tool, but they've added some neat features to this particular tool. One is that you now have two different sizes of brad sizes that you can make. There's that medium one, but you can also pull the tool out and twist it on both sides to get an entirely different size. But they didn't stop there. They actually now have some different heads that you can interchange, and all you have to do to interchange them is you simply unscrew the head, and then you can switch in whatever size you want. See, they also have screws as well. So this is a exciting tool, and you can make lots of different things with it, and I wanted to show you some of the things that you can do with this particular tool. So along with the actual physical tool, there are some punch sizes that are perfect for creating with. This is our largest one. This is for a 34mm brad. Then they have a 28mm brad punch. You can see that it's going to actually create the punch for you. And then it has a 22mm brad punch. Now, punches are optional. They actually include a template inside all of their products, but this is just a quick and easy way to get this punch done. So what they have inside of, for this tool, is they have a couple of different things. They have badges. They have brad daddies. I don't know if you can see this, but they actually have brads. And then they also have buttons. And I don't know if you can see this as well, but you can actually make buttons. So lots of different things. So brads and buttons and different things. And so I thought it would be fun to make a project using this fun new tool from Imaginisce. Okay, so let's go ahead and make a brad today. First, you're going to need some paper. You can use pattern paper, cardstock, fabric. I'm actually using a 6x6 pad because on a 6x6 pad, the print of the pattern paper is quite small, and so I like using 6x6 pads for making things like brads. Now we're going to use the 28mm brad punch, and I'm actually going to open it up, but you don't have to open it up when you do it. I just like doing it that way so I can show you. When you punch upside down, you can move and center the design of the paper in your punch. So just punch out your brad top, and that's what we have. Now here's the tool again. Now we're going to switch out these two heads because I want to match the 28mm punch head. So I'm going to need the 28mm receiving head. So on the rubber it actually says 28mm. So just unscrew the top and screw in the right sized head that you need. And then you also need to unscrew this side because they need to match. Screw that in right like that. Okay, so now you are actually going to need a brad head top, and it's just a smooth top. And again, this needs to be 28mm. Everything needs to match. And you're going to set it on the top of that silver receiving end. And then you're going to take your pattern paper punch and you're going to center it. And as you center it, start slowly closing the machine, the tool, and you'll see that it's starting to bend that paper back. See how it kind of disappeared inside the tool? So turn the tool over like this, and let me move this out of the way so you can see. So see how that pattern paper is kind of sticking up? Just use your finger, and you're going to bend it inside that brad top. So it looks like that. Okay, now that we have folded back the pattern paper, we need the brad end. And see the pointy parts of the brad end? We're going to insert that into that hole right there. So just stick that in the hole, and then make sure the tool is turned back, and you're going to press them together firmly. So now As you can see, the brad is stuck into the rubber end, and you're going to peel back this rubber end. That will release your brad. So now you've made your own brad, and now you can see all the different things that you can do with this. I'm going to go ahead and create a project with this brad now. Okay, so I've made these 3 brads, 2 large and 1 medium, and we're going to go ahead and make the rest of this card. So I've pre-cut a cardstock card and folded it, and we're going to start by doing some stamping. This is a alphabet stamp, and I'm going to ink it with some brown stamping ink. When I'm using a large background stamp, I usually ink the stamp first, and then I place the paper right onto that background stamp, and then you can use a brayer. I'm actually just using my adhesive roller, or you can even just use your fingers and press the cardstock or paper into the stamp that you've just inked, and that gives you a nice inked up stamp. So go ahead and add that to the top of our card. I'll go right there. And now I've pre-cut some elements to put on this particular page. This is from that same My Mind's Eye paper pad, and that will go at the bottom of our card. And then I have some yellow paper that I'll add. And then I have a blue strip that I'll add. We're just kind of building the card base before we go ahead and add the brads. Now, one little trick that I do is when I'm adding ribbon to a card, instead of putting it around this flimsy piece of pattern paper, I'm going to cut a slit right here in my card with a craft knife, and I'm going to thread the ribbon through there. So I'm using a tonic craft knife. I like this because it has a retractable end, and I'm going to put a cutting mat underneath, and like I said, just using the tip, I'm going to cut into the fold of the card. And you just need to cut a line long enough that you can get the width of your ribbon into that hole. So cut your ribbon and thread it through that little hole that you just cut. And you can tie your ribbon into a bow or a knot or whatever suits your design style. So just straighten out the bow a little bit. Okay, now we're going to add the brads, and to add the brads I have a special foam paper piercing pad underneath. And my little trick is that I'll set the card down, and then I start deciding where I want the brads to go. And so once I've decided that, then I use the paper piercer and I pierce a little hole, and then I stick them through the hole. Now they're going through the cardstock and pattern paper into the pad below. So let's go ahead and add the number brad. And then I want to add the houndstooth brad. And then all you need to do to finish off the brad part is to flip over the card and open up the little brad tabs. All right, to finish off this card, I want to do some sentiment stamping. And we're going to do that on from a Technique Tuesday stamp. And we're going to add some black ink. And we're going to stamp right here onto the cardstock. Now to do that, I probably should have done this part first, but you don't want the bulky brads in the way when you're stamping with an acrylic block, because the stamp won't lie flat. So you can go back and add your brads next. So think ahead, unlike I did, and think of how you want where you want your stamping to lie and things like that. Now I'm going to add some photo corners to the top of this. And these are just tan photo corners. I usually have tan, white, and black photo corners for my stamping projects. Now that I've added the photo corners to the top, I'm just going to add some pearl brads just to dress it up, or pearl stickers rather, to kind of dress up the card. For additional information and photos on creating this card, visit my blog and watch for the next Jen's Jumpstarts videos coming soon.